Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Good morning, guys. I hope we've all had a great start to our Tuesday morning. August 27th, we are coming into the end of yet another month within this hellish range that we call the current Bitcoin price action, guys. Will September be different? Will we get resolution out of this range? Well, I sure hope so. I'll be honest. I sure hope it's coming. But we're going to talk about all of that and more, guys. The lower time frame, of course, the high time frame implications as well. It's a big week. Like we said yesterday, we have Nvidia earnings tomorrow. We've got obviously markets bounced a lot on Friday. What happens in kind of the wake of this pullback that we've had to start this week. And of course, we have the Bank of Japan speaking on Friday as well. So no shortage of catalysts for the market, no shortage of things, to provide us potential volatility. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker and Louis Tuesday. Appropriately named today. But yeah, I hope you guys have had a great start to the week. Obviously, it is only Tuesday, but as we know in these ranges, time can go by pretty quickly. So before we can start cooking and sharing our outlook on the market, guys, you know what I'm going to ask you. I can see some of you commenting on it already. CTU agent, I see your comment. I'm not going to share it, but I do see it. We are going to ask you for the like button. Either way, guys, like, smash, hammer, whatever you need to do to hit that like button, guys, from an adjective standpoint, whatever you need to justify it, you can use it. But we love when you guys can hit the like button for us. And of course, the YouTube tech algorithm gods need us to hit the like button so that they can show our channel to more people. We can get more people watching, subscribing, and ultimately liking, guys. The biggest Ponzi is not anything in crypto, contrary to what crypto bears would want you to believe. It's actually the YouTube like button. So if you guys could hit that for us, I'll start cooking though. I'll start us off. It's a big week, guys, right? Like we said it yesterday, we said it today. I don't know how much we can really write about price action into Wednesday, given that we have the Nasdaq's earnings. As I've coined it, it's Nvidia's earnings, but as we've seen before, not just through previous Nvidia earnings where price has appreciated drastically, but also just through pure market structure. When you're trading Nvidia, you're basically trading the Nasdaq. And when you're trading the Nasdaq in this current market regime, you're basically trading the U.S. economy. So we're trading the U.S. economy. You are trading the U.S. economy tomorrow, whether you know it or whether you don't. So it really is kind of difficult to write too much about the price action until that happens. But of course, we can kind of discuss price for what it has done so far on its merits throughout the course of this week. And equities were more or less flat, right? But in crypto, obviously, we are seeing a bit more red. Bitcoin and ETH are pulling back into levels on a lower time frame that we had marked out yesterday and into the week as levels that we could potentially see a higher low form if we want to see this continue to chop and grind out higher. Of course, if we are to lose levels like 61.8, and for ETH, it's probably more like 25.50. We are talking more of that pit roll scenario that Will's Outlook has coined so appropriately. But altcoins are a very mixed bag, and I think that's reflected by Bitcoin and ETH in their market structures, because Bitcoin does look, I think, so much better than ETH here. Not ready to give up on the idea that ETH Bitcoin is potentially bottomed here. Of course, as I've said before, better men than me have tried to call bottom on this pair. But I do think that, at least locally speaking, what we've seen so far this week, Bitcoin has been stronger than ETH. And from a market structure standpoint, if they're going to continue pulling back, Bitcoin is likely to sustain that structure more likely than ETH. And there are altcoins that reflect that as well, right? Things like Popcat are very strong. Obviously, select ETH beta is pulling back a little bit deeper, something like MOG. So it is a mixed bag across the board, but Ultimately, I think the altcoins that are getting bid probably should realistically continue respecting their market structures to the upside. But yeah, guys, that sets the stage for the show. I'm interested to see where we go from here. Of course, it is a big level for market structure on both Bitcoin and ETH. Higher low, pit roll, lower lows. What are we thinking here, guys? Of course, is any of it even important into Wednesday when we have Jensen Huang and Nvidia earning?
Is that how you say his name,
I
bro?
think so.
Grow up,
Jensen
Tucker.
Huang.
Grow up.
I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, you're kind of right. A lot of it doesn't matter because of earnings tomorrow, but I would like to have decent price action going into it. I don't really think it's like FOMC where it's like, oh, you're gonna, pump into it and dump out of it, or vice versa. I don't think it's really that binary. I mean, I'm expecting them to have good earnings. I'm expecting a pump, of course. I don't think they're just gonna like miss. Like they know their numbers and they set their expectations. So, I mean, they're probably gonna beat. Not expecting like let's just go back to Nvidia real quick, right? Like not expecting a massive ripper, but I mean, you probably challenge these highs at minimum, right? And that should bleed over into QQQ, and that should bleed over into IWM, and that should bleed over into Bitcoin. Okay, so I'm still expecting a decent end of the month. Like we've got 4 days left. For me with Bitcoin, like as long as you're holding that, I think you're good. I think that's a decent retest. This was that level that I was looking for, right? I'll just redraw it, and we'll put a nice little green box because it's aesthetically pleasing. I think you bid that box. I think you bid that box, and I think you look for this. Honestly, now I don't know where the month ends. You probably get stuffed here a little bit first, right? But I would wager that we close the month of August somewhere in this box right here. Okay, that's what I would wager. Unless they miss real bad on earnings tomorrow and the S&P and QQQ start nuking, then we have a problem, and we're probably closing the month somewhere down here. But that's not my base case. I mean, look, either way, I think the monthly candle is still pretty bullish. Like ideally, right here, let me just draw out this range, right? Like, here's the bottom of the range, here's the top of the range, right? Ideally, I'd want it to close above 62.6, right? Even more ideally would be here, right? Make it a green monthly at 65. I think as long as you're closing above like 61, I think you're fine. So those are kind of, here, I'll zoom in a little bit. Those are kind of the levels. Like I think, down here is very bad. Okay. This is like okay. This is okay. This is fantastic type of thing. Right. So that's really what we don't want to see, is to close down below like 61K, in my opinion, if we're just talking monthly closes. ETH looks a little worse. I can't beat around the bush. That was super clean. That would have been a phenomenal short, right? If you had just shorted these wicks. I know this was like the normie resistance we talked about, but yeah, it just doesn't look terrible, like I think as long as you're holding that, you're good, right? I think if you I think if you get that, then that's your bid. I wouldn't bid that. I would bid that secondary. I'd bid the reclaim on that if I was trading perps on this. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on majors. I guess Sol real quick. Like this is just, if you've been trading perps on Sol, you've been getting chopped to bits, right? Like this is horrendous. I think this is still makes the case for a macro cycle hold, right? You look at Sol Bitcoin and Sol ETH, it's like, yeah, those pairs still look great, I kind of like that trend, right? I mean, Sol ETH looking great, looking okay, right? Like Sol BTC and Sol USD basically look the same because Bitcoin's been a stable coin since March. So, I mean, like seriously, the chart looks the same. So, I don't know. I think your Sol risk proxies look fine. I think DXY is straight down. So I don't know. It does all depend on earnings tomorrow, but let me pass it to Big Louie, see what he thinks.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning, Louie.
We didn't even get to talk on the call this morning. I was too busy showering. I got to figure that out because it's every time I go on mobile. The last couple times, I'm just automatically on mic, and like
Louis,
I'm
here's
glad
what
I
I
haven't
figured
done
out.
anything.
If your alarm goes off while you're on the call, it will unmute you
That's what's
every time.
That's what's been happening. All right.
Yeah.
All right. It could have been worse. Yeah.
Here, let me
Morning,
flip it.
everybody.
Let me flip it to you. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I got similar levels to you, Tuck. 60.5K, on the daily chart is kind of my line of the sand. Basically bullish, bullish daily close above got us that, that nice impulse to the upside. And we're chasing some of that right now. It's just been a lot of, choppy price action. Not much what we can say, but 60.5K is my level right now, especially when I'm looking at it this way. You got these key tests here. This is a key level to me. It goes all the way back here, really, if you can pull this line all the way back. So, 60.5K, as long as we're above here, this could be more or less like a throwback or a retest. But I want to see something like this. I want us to see us hold this level and then, turn back the other way, maybe something like tomorrow. Nvidia's tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe something like that. But yeah, I mean, 60.5K is my level. That's my, it's my line in the sand. And then if you're lower time frame, this is kind of what we're looking like here. We basically kind of just backfilled the FEG from the Friday move, as of now, in my opinion here. We had this
Louis,
nice.
can you go down to the 15-minute real quick?
Sure.
Just so like people can observe the candles that Bitcoin's put in since Sunday.
Yeah,
Imagine trading that.
This is
my
crazy.
God.
This is, yeah, like my phone was like the Discord was like blowing up this weekend. It was like one of those weekends where like I did not look at price once. I just had that feeling. I was like, you know what? I'm not looking at price. Like it's just not gonna be good. Just like sometimes you gotta just step away from the charts just for your own mental health and clarity. Because sometimes it's like you get weekends like this, and if you're staring at that all weekend, like have fun having a good week, That's just madness. Yeah, that's crazy. I used to be trying to trade this on the weekends. Like, yeah, not anymore.
We all did, Louis. We all did.
Yeah, everyone goes through that phase
Mhm.
where you're always got to be in the trade. Yeah, not anymore. But yeah, I mean, we had this lower time frame structure here. We got our Impulse Friday. Let's drop down to the 1 hour actually. We did create some liquidity on that Impulse. And now basically that's fully filled. We obviously have support here. This is kind of our market structure support on the lower time frame, anywhere in this area, which kind of lines up with that FEG fill. So we're coming into support, we're coming into demand. We backfilled our liquidity. So I would expect if we are going to bounce, it's going to be somewhere in this area. And that's where we want to see it bounce, in my opinion. We kind of deviated the mid range here on our daily range, but we kind of got to see it bounce here, reclaim the mid range to start continuing to grind higher, which is perfectly fine. It's not going to be straight up in a straight line up. You know what I mean? We're going to have these ebbs and flows, down, up, down, up. I mean, that's just normal price action. It's just been choppy for so long. Like stuff like this is just tiring. Like every pump gets retraced here. But yeah, I mean, Daily range view, you want to get back above this mid range, which is around 63K. In my opinion, that's extremely bullish. And on the daily, as long as we're holding 60.5K, I think we're in a good spot. I don't think there's anything to worry about in the near term here as far as Bitcoin goes. I know I was looking at, the ETF flows both on Bitcoin and ETH this morning. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full days of positive Bitcoin ETF inflows, which is crazy. With yesterday being 200 million of inflows and Friday 252 million dollars worth of inflows. So we have an 18 billion net positive on the Bitcoin ETF, like of its total lifespan. That's bullish. There's nowhere else way to put it. And it's just basically got to wait out this lower time frame chop. I'm kind of curious at what your guys' thoughts on the fact that we've had positive inflows over the last, let's say, 6 to 7 trading days. Yet we haven't really gone anywhere. I mean, we are in a slight uptrend here, but what are your guys' thoughts on that? Like the flows versus what we've seen in price action. Like, is that a bullish or a bearish thing to you guys? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I think I want to say the ETF, like the way that they do the fills are almost in like, they're not quite dark pools, but they kind of are. I think you kind of have TradFi brokers or dealers working with crypto market makers, and they just kind of like sell their coins OTC, which is good because it's supposed to minimize the impact of selling, but it also minimizes the impact of buying because those buys aren't hitting the open market like or not necessarily like right at that moment.
Right away.
It's always executed at the absolute best possible price. So I would say that's probably a bit of a headwind that we've seen thus far. But I will also say once those market makers run out of coins, you will see those buys really start to hit the tape. And I think it'll be very obvious when that starts to happen. It's probably one of those things. It's like, it'll go up when they allow it to go up, when enough of the supply has been distributed, and then they allow it to finally go up. But yeah, I think it has to do with like the method of execution is kind of similar to dark pools that we see in TradFi for things like options.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, once you see them actually hit the open market, it's gonna be wild.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Like what Tommy said, right? Like them not buying OTC, right? When they are actually,
so when the exchanges run out and they have to buy on actual exchanges, like they can't buy OTC.
Yeah, when they can't buy through institutional dark pools and they have to buy literally open market, then you're gonna see it absolutely fly. But when that happens, we don't know. But all we know is that that's going to happen at some point.
So they could have bids like on paper, like that we had $400 million in inflows, right, on the ETF, but we could have like bids waiting for that, or that was all OTC, and like maybe down the line we'll start to see those.
That was probably all OTC, and that's why you're not going to see it show up in the chart, right? Is because there were still those inflows, but it wasn't like they didn't like go to Coinbase and just ape.
Right. Yeah. And then ETH, we have basically the main thing to watch is the grayscale, ETH ETFs, because if you guys look at the fees, you could clearly see that one stands out from all the others, and that's the grayscale ETH ETF, which obviously was in existence before, all of the spot ETFs. And they had 9.2 billion basically on the balance sheet. And those have been straight outflows since the start, which has been putting a weight on ETH. And we've obviously been seeing that in the price action. What I'm liking, though, is that we're seeing that the amount of outflows is slowly dwindling. This actually doesn't go back far enough. I don't know if I can go back, but you're starting to see this number dwindle. It was like 40s, 30s, 20s, and now we're down to like maybe 9 million a day. So technically we have like 2.5 billion from outflows from that, as well as they have the Grayscale ETH Mini, which also has another 235 million. So, just looking at that, I mean, if there's nothing else, if I don't know how else there would be outflows from this fund. It looks like they have almost about 3 billion of this 9 billion already, has left this product. And it looks like the selling is slowing. So, I mean, that could be a good sign. But yeah, you have like BlackRock's ETH ETF has already $1 billion worth of inflows. So, I mean, there's definitely the bid there. We just got to kind of chew through the supply and this effect of the ETH Grayscale ETF. And then mostly, I mean, you got to expect at least some of this is going to just flow back into other ETFs just at a cheaper fee. So, this is kind of what I'm watching and waiting for this number to continue to dwindle down, just so that Grayscale supply is fully run out. So we don't have to worry about it as a headwind anymore.
This comment needs to be studied right here.
I mean, historically, at the bottom signal.
I mean, chat is giving me bottom signal vibes. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't even read the chat today, so
it does feel. Hang on, I'm gonna take it back. Oh yeah, by the way, here's this. Everybody, calm down. I was gonna do a little lower time frame analysis, but I forgot I put this on here. Just buy stock sub 20 in halving years. If you need me to mark it out for you, I will. Bears in the chat. Okay. You're welcome. Study the retest of the EMAs. Doesn't get lost. You just tap the bottom one. What are we talking about? All right. Now, let's go study the lower time frames, guys. I mean, this is ugly. This is ugly. I feel like you're getting close, man. I feel like you're getting close. Like you're kind of, it feels like you're almost in the elevator down candle right now, right? Like at least on like the 4 hour. Look at this.
Like the slow bleed into support, and then like the plunge, and then
maybe the 1 hour is
out of it.
Maybe the 90 minutes, but yeah, like you slow blood and then you boom. Like I could see that being the case right now.
What I mean. Moving forward, until we see something otherwise, like you just got to fade all weekend price action. I just don't. I mean, I hope me saying this like will trigger some sort of weekend price action, but I don't know, with the ETFs and the CME gaps and all that and everything nowadays, I feel like the weekend price action for crypto is just going to be very curbed. It's just going to be, slow chop in one direction or the other, and most likely faded, Monday, Tuesday, the following week. So it just is what it is. It might just have something we have to deal with for a while.
Yeah, I don't think getting caught up in lower time frames is the move. Now, something I talked about the other day was right. Everyone's like, "Oh no, September's coming. September's coming. It's over, guys. It's completely over." First of all, I would like to point out that let's do this. We'll just measure it. Okay. Wow, September was green that year. That's interesting. But in the last 2 cycles in halving years, I'm not even going to measure it. I already looked it up. September was on average down 7%, right? In a halving year, right? In an election year, 7% to the downside. Okay. So I'm going to assume that's max downside from here. Let's assume we close right here, right now. You're looking at 57K if we close right here. Now, that would be rough. That wouldn't feel good, but not the end of the world, quote unquote. Still in a range, boys. Still in a range. Now, my base case though is not that we close the monthly right here. We've still got, what did I say? Yeah, 4 days. I think you get something like this. I think you get something like this, and you close the monthly up towards here, right? I think you're going to close the monthly somewhere around 65K, which is going to give me max downside of 7%. Oh, like basically where we are right now, 61K, right? You got rate cuts in September. You got CZ out of jail in September. You got October on the horizon. Market front runs. What are we talking about? Type of thing, right? What are we talking about? So for those saying September, it's completely over. It's not. It's just simply not. But at the end of the day, we know that presidential elections are truly the catalyst for straight up in a straight line. Um, so that's November. So technically, we don't have to do anything until then. I'm not going to go mark out all the Novembers of halving years, but you guys know what I'm saying. Go do it for yourselves. You'll see what I'm talking about. But technically, we could do nothing until November. But I think we're going to move up in September, late September. Late September.
AB has a question, Tucker.
What am I saying? What am I saying? What do you mean? That couldn't be more clear. Study data.
I mean, I feel like we haven't even been really following like the usual, like this month's bullish on Bitcoin historically, that month's bearish. I feel like it's been all over the place this year.
Seasonality has been pretty tricky, right? Like the two most traditionally bearish months in May and September have both been front ran by about a month, but that also hasn't, like, it's resolved into a range high retest, but it hasn't resolved into a breakout. But Q4 seasonality is the most bullish. So what will win? I feel like in a year of range, there's almost no way that Q4 is not going to be bullish.
Yeah, Q4 is always bullish, which leads us into the ETH BTC rally of January 2025, guys, which is what I'm most excited about. Oh my! Every time I pull up the chart, man, it just hurts. It's just pain. Yeah. Where were we in
2021? I mean, I remember at least Bitcoin was. That's kind of what started the bull run. It was like December, January.
I mean, let's just mark out January 1st of post-halving years. Right? There you go. Q1 post-halving, straight up. Okay. That's all we got to wait for. You're in this garbage right now, right? You're in this garbage. Okay. It's a waiting game, guys. Everyone thinks, oh, halving, market's going straight up. Nah. You got to wait for the election. You got to wait for ETH BTC to turn up. That's when you get alt season and not beforehand. Anything beforehand is a gift. Okay. Anything beforehand is a gift. But uncertainty, Mr. Magoo, bro. How could I be more clear? How could we be more clear? I don't know how I could be any more clear, guys. We're so bullish. It's disgusting. Obviously, short term, we are nuking, guys. We are nuking, and it is over on the 15-minute chart. I mean, it is unequivocally. Go back to Bitcoin.
I'm about to check the like button, by the way, guys. So if you haven't hit it, you have about 15 seconds to panic like before I make my assessment on whether or not we are going to have soybeans next, or if we're going to have to watch. Well, I mean, honestly, like you could watch the 1 second chart of this Bitcoin structure right now and probably not be super entertained, or maybe you would be. I don't know. That's some of the ugliest price action back and forth I think I've seen in quite some time, and market makers are having a field day with that. But enough waffling. I'm going to check the like button. Let's hope you guys are hitting it.
We're in that zone, bro. We are in the zone. Look at that.
175 likes isn't bad, but We can do better, guys. We can do better. I really want to hit at least 250 by the end of this stream. We absolutely can do it. Tuesdays are kind of like a lull day, but I kind of feel like Tuesdays are the real Monday because nobody actually likes Mondays, and Tuesdays are kind of like the real where I feel like I get the most work done is in the second day of the week. But enough waffling. Thank you if you liked the stream, guys. Your support means the world to us. And as Max always says, we wish we lived in a world where we could be assessed only on our content and the quality of it. But unfortunately, the algos and the tech gods that run them require us to hit the like button, require you to hit the like button, or they don't require you, but we ask you and you oblige. But no, we can get back to the charts. That is an ugly, I mean, it's not even a Bart just yet, but it's ugly, man. I feel like that kind of structure with Barts, the alpha with Barts, by the way, guys, is that you watch momentum, because price is telling a lie while momentum is telling the truth. So for something like Bitcoin, you can have price going sideways while momentum is dropping. And you can see that on something like RSI. Obviously for stochastic, it'll probably cross over more quickly, but RSI is probably going down. What usually tends to break down, like see breakdown selling on a Bart, is when you lose that 50 level on something like the 1 hour. Or if you go more granularly, see, yeah, like right here, we started to sell a bit harder after we lost that 50 level on the RSI for the 1 hour. You can extrapolate it to other timelines as well, or like other time frames as well, but it's generally a pretty good rule of thumb for Barts. And for lower time frames, of course, when you get like that breakdown, right, like the break below 30 on the RSI, it can be actionable as well. But I used to love trading Barts. They've kind of made it a lot harder to trade them, in my opinion. Whereas they used to spike liquidity, price would go flat. There really wouldn't be much of a bounce because all of the liquidity had kind of already been taken, and then they would just roll it. But now they do stuff like this, where if you don't get positioned on the wick, you're better off not even trying to position short, because they're just going to run it all the way up to the top of the wick again and probably take your liquidity and then dump it. This is what they do now, man. These are those institutional algos that make trading crypto just way more difficult.
Yeah. Louis, what do you think about this little dump? Yeah, I saw that comment, bro.
Oh my God.
Ethereum has ruined my life.
That's a copy pasta from is it the Cowboys? I feel like it might be the Dallas Cowboys, but
Are you serious?
I think so.
That's unreal. Oh,
I mean, I like that we're coming into a nice little low time frame support here. Honestly, I'd be taking longs here. I do have a little in the Perpies account. I would look for a nice, plunge.
Punt, Louis. Punt it.
Yeah, I mean, I would like a little plunge into that little demand. Maybe kind of deviate that horizontal line you got there. Reclaim it. I think we could, V out of here. Depending on what the rest of the market looks like for the rest of the day. But yeah, something like that. Like that. That's how. You got your breakout. This would be technically a retest or a throwback. And basically, we have to see a bullish kind of bounce or bullish reaction here. You don't blindly punt it here, but I mean, you can. Sometimes those are the best entries. But yeah, no, I mean, it's low time frame breakout, low time frame retest, and then hopefully we can get some continuation here and a bounce out of this this support level. If not, we could have some more chop to go. So, but if you're getting bearish here, on a retest, just don't be surprised if you have to buy back higher, whatever you're selling. So,
yeah, I like that. I like that long there, Louis. I like it. If I was trading perps, that would be it.
Check the Hyperliquid account. I'm gonna see what's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me those referral points.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Louis
I'm
on
racking
the
up
link,
Tommy's
bro.
referral.
I got 1 point last week. Thank you.
Yeah, I got like 5, I think.
That's gonna be 1 point's gonna be $800 at some point though. So
yeah,
thank you
all right.
I hope so, but
I hope so.
$800 per point. What are you talking
that's the
about,
meme,
Tommy?
man. That's the
Oh,
meme.
okay.
It's probably gonna be more like if I had to guess, like anywhere from $10 to $30 at TGE, depending on what they FDV at. If it's like 1 billion, it'll probably be closer to 10. If it's 3.5, it can be above 30. But that's yeah. Obviously, I'm optimistic, but $800 per point. It's not a meme.
Ooh, he's using MEXC.
Wow, Alan. Wow. Well, I can't use
Wow.
MEXC anymore, so you're better than me.
Yeah, same. I used to use MEXC.
How are you using that, Alan? I know you're in the US. Crazy.
Are you a dual resident of Palau?
Yeah.
I gotta do that, honestly.
You all need to do that.
You got that?
Yeah, of course, brother. Of course. Bybit is the best exchange there is, bro. How could I not? How could I
Hyperlink.
not, bro?
And I get paid for using my Perps exchange.
Do they? I feel like sometimes I feel like I go on there and I have like more money than I did. Like, are they just dropping me money?
Where on Hyper?
Yeah,
They just give you money.
maybe they're just. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's like more money than that should be on there. Sometimes I don't know. Maybe it was just the funding fees on my trades. I didn't realize.
I mean, guys, if we lose this, it's kind of cooked in the short term. I think structurally,
Yes,
I really do.
Structurally, yeah.
Structurally, you're kind of cooked for like.
I really don't want
probably
to come
a couple
back to
weeks.
range close.
Yeah,
I would fear for altcoins in that scenario.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because some alts like fully retrace and other alts are like holding higher ground. So like it's either like those, you got to see those continue here. You know, I don't want to see all of the alts fully retrace because then now it's just like some exit liquidity pump.
What are they
Last Friday.
doing in equities? Oh, look at the fun day in equities today, or the last week. Oh my god, dude!
How's my little options trader doing?
Dude, that is unbelievable. What else?
God, that's awful, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Not a lot of signal out of equities.
No, it's the Nvidia chart, man. It's like,
yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. Like the whole stock market is basically waiting on one stock's earnings.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild. Pretty wild.
That's how it goes.
Those boomers. I won't put my whole net worth in a meme coin, but I'll buy Nvidia at $125. All of it. Give me all you can sell.
Is this, you think this guy in the comments is like the Magoo from Twitter, like a little elf?
No, dude, that guy needs help, man.
The little Bitcoin elf, the angry elf.
A little angry elf.
He's asking for P&Ls for BB.
Brother.
Just look at the profits channel, brother.
Yeah, study the profits channel, the Discord.
Like 30x's like last week. So
yeah, Louis just handed everyone a 30x like a week ago. Take me to the back room and show me your P&L.
On those a few weeks ago.
Oh man. Somebody mentioned Sol was showing strength. I don't know. Is that Sol BTC,
I mean, that looks like
ETH.
Sol looks like a massive, like symmetrical triangle at this point. You know what I mean? Just like an extreme coiling of price. Like our price pinch.
I mean, it's doing well against Bitcoin and ETH pairs, right? I mean, obviously, again, everything's doing well against its ETH pair. Like that's just a given at this point. But I don't know, man. Should we look at some altcoins?
XRP's up today.
I'm scared. I'm scared to look at my altcoins right now.
XRP is
Oh.
green for some reason.
Oh, are you serious?
Somewhere Jackus is euphoric.
Dude, this chart, man. I don't.
XRP ETH and XRP BTC actually look really good.
Imagine trading this, dude. This is terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, just more like accumulating. I couldn't trade that, but like I could accumulate it just because I'm super patient. But
I agree with this take, guys. What do you think?
To me, if Sol doesn't break down, then should see a turnaround in Bitcoin. Yeah.
I agree. It's been the indicator.
Which means, unfortunately, we're gonna need Bitcoin and Sol to lead the market again, man. Oh, ETH is just ETH. I can come up with a myriad of different adjectives to describe ETH, but I won't. I'll spare you guys today. I'm sure you're already thinking it.
I feel like you gotta hold that on Sol. Have to see that. Have to see it. Can't lose 145 to 150 on Sol. Gotta hold. Gotta hold. It just looks interesting compared to Bitcoin, though. You know, like when was this? Yeah, like it got way higher, and then it didn't set a higher high. It set a equal high, basically. So, I don't know. What do you guys make of this?
I mean, it's going to do whatever Bitcoin's going to do. I feel like it's kind of been difficult to take signal from Sol because it's fluctuated in a range back and forth. It's great at getting you to think like it's so over, we're so back, like every juncture of the range. But I feel like Bitcoin's chart is pretty clean, right? Like if you're bullish, you should continue to grind higher. Realistically, 61, mid 61 should continue to act as support. We should bounce out of here, especially when you look at trending altcoins, something like a Popcat, because if Bitcoin doesn't break down from here, then trending alts aren't going to form a higher low. And then of course their best case scenario becomes pit rolls, and probably Bitcoin and ETH becomes pit rolls as well.
We're all adopting Dr. Outlook's term pit roll. Yeah.
I mean, on Sol specifically too, like if we didn't already get that kind of bounce and like rollover, like the smaller one to the left, like I would say, yeah, maybe roll over again. But we already got that. So like this to me just looks like a small pullback before continuation higher. Especially with that big wick to the downside. If we didn't have that, I'd be maybe we could wick down, run all the lows. But I mean, all the liquidity on this chart is to the upside. You know what I mean? Like there's no external liquidity left on Sol. All the lows were ran. So now we just have highs to run. And this looks like one of those rollover moments, like I was talking about last week when we were rolling over into range lows where everyone gave up again after getting bullish. Like it's over. We're so back. It's over. These rollovers are killing everybody because they're just feeling it in alts like crazy. It's just like everyone's just getting teased, you know. But these rollovers, you know, they've been shaking people out and doing their jobs. But I mean, to me, you know, I think we continue higher. I think Sol even, you know, look clearer on Sol. Same, but Bitcoin, we're coming right into support. Same thing. So it's support until proven otherwise. We have market structure we're coming into. That's all you got to look at it as. Don't look at your P&L. Don't look at anything else. Just look at the chart. Kind of got to take emotions out of it.
What is happening in the chat right now, guys?
This is bad. It's like the worst I've ever seen it.
This is a real bad. This is like the sentiment is not okay right now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, look at everyone is clearly down bad right now. This is unfortunate. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, look at Bitcoin's highs; those all need to get run. Look at Sol's highs; those also need to get run.
Like all the lows were ran already. Like there's no liquidity.
I mean, if you pull up a heat map, yeah. I mean, if you pull up a heat map, like, you know, all the liquidity is up at 70K on Bitcoin. If you pull up like a 1 month or 3 month heat map, it's not that hard to tell, but we are broken inside. I can't lie. Yeah. Oh man. It's okay, guys. We're gonna be all right. Fuck me. No, fuck. Oh my god. I mean, this is what happens, guys. This is literally what happens when Bitcoin. This is not a shocking thing. This is what happens when you do this for 6 months. Like people lose their fucking minds. Like it is what it is.
That's what it's meant to do, though.
Yeah.
That's the big boy. That's the big boys putting $9 billion into Bitcoin ETFs. That's what that looks like. Like they're not going to hit it in one buy. They gotta manipulate the market with buys and sells to get their preferred average entry. That with the we started the cycle off way quicker than normal. Like I think I have the timeline for Bitcoin cycles. Let me pull it up. It's not as pretty as Max's. I have it somewhere. But we have time to go, guys. Like
you're up, Louis.
Yeah, like we have time. Like this is just the last 2 cycles, Bitcoin cycles from low to high is literally almost exactly the same. Literally 1,064 days, 1,050 something days. And right now we're a little more than halfway. Let's see exactly how many days in we are. And this is an extremely simple way to view it, but it's data. It's still data we could use to kind of give us gauge where we're at. So we're 658 days in, when the average length is 1,000. So this run up here was obviously a little premature. We had the Bitcoin ETF, which obviously had something to do with it. So because we got this big run up so prematurely, everyone got their eyes and their targets, set earlier and higher. You know what I mean? And then once everyone set those targets, because I even remember like coming into February, I was like, damn, if we continue at this trajectory, I'm gonna have to start like taking profits in like the spring of this year, because like we're not gonna continue on this trajectory forever. And literally as I was saying that to myself, that's when basically this 5 to 6 month consolidation happened, which makes perfect sense. So we are kind of catching up to these cycles, normal length. And we do have, so if we're like 650 days in, we have another, 350 days to go, about a year left, realistically. So which I know that sucks, but I mean, if you just push back your time horizons and stop trying to get rich overnight, and just kind of DCA, work on your cash flow. Cash flow is king. Like you guys want to play this game, you got to have cash flow. Because if you don't, and you think you're just going to be a day trader and live off that, you'll learn quickly that that's not a reliable income. Okay. You need cash flow to keep you afloat, to continue to DCA and find new opportunities. And if you put your time horizons out, more than like a month, like I said, we have a year left in this cycle. We should do something like this. We should do something like this. Now I wouldn't say go to 1 million, but obviously, but you know what I'm saying? Like we have history shows that we have, we go higher, and we have 300 days to do it. So, if you got here in February or January, what? Louis get wrecked soon because DCA, brother. First of all, I was buying Bitcoin at 17.5K when you didn't even know what crypto was yet, probably. So there's that. So I made a 3.5x off Bitcoin, which basically is still at almost all-time highs. So there's that. And my altcoins are either in the money or at my entries. So, but that's cool. You could sit there and talk trash because you're not having a good month. But I'm gonna stay here and continue to do business. But yeah, time's on our side, and this is the normal trajectory. And now we're kind of this 5-6 months of sideways has put us, in a position to run our normal cycle course. So, that's kind of just, you got to be patient. I hate saying it. I hate coming up here and keep telling you guys this, but like, you got to push your timers on horizons back. You know, like big money, like the guys that are buying the Bitcoin ETFs over the last couple months. You think they're ready to sell tomorrow? You think they just accumulated 19 billion just to sell it in a week? No, they're going to sit on that for a year. You know, they're looking at the data. Texas Instruments.
Dude, that's real. I like it.
That's actually
I kind of somewhat agree with that statement.
That's so real.
No, yeah, it's true. I gotta, you know, I can't have any color. I just need a pure, simple, plain.
I like it though, Louis. I have a very similar
setup. You're a gray guy.
Not quite as dark gray with the background, but my candlesticks, black and white is the best aesthetic for candlesticks, man. No nonsense.
Incorrect.
You don't want to have to think about
Incorrect.
dopamine hits when you're looking at the candle.
Oh, they're coming after me now. First, they started on Tucker. Now they're coming.
Louis, it's whoever's talking. Whoever's talking, they're gonna come for your neck because we're down so bad.
Louis Road Rage.
Yeah.
Wait, who's olive oil from Popeye?
Is that the? I don't know.
Is that like the hairy guy?
Olive oil from Popeye. Who is that? I'm gonna look it up. What?
What is it?
Is it bad?
I think that's a woman.
It's the chick. Yeah, I was scared to say it. I was pretty sure it was the girl though.
That's good. Good stuff, guys. That's all right.
It looks more like Popeye, in my opinion.
He goes, don't look. Oh yeah, guys. That's all right. I understand. It sucks. It does suck. You know, last couple months have not been easy. Not been easy. What are you gonna do?
Louis, I came up with. I want to keep talking high time frame because here let me steal this real quick and I'll give it back. But like, something I put in the Discord and I was measuring the other day. Right, was just like the because the cycle length thing has always kind of been. I mean, yeah, it's always 1,000 days, and you know, fading that is probably not smart.
I hate because I don't like that. It's like, oh wow, really? That's too simple. That's too easy. But I mean, it's been dead on accurate. So you know, I'm not gonna wait for exactly 1,000 days. Like, give me like spring. You know, early going into spring next year, and I'm like, okay, I'll look for reasons to get bearish.
Yeah. So here's what I did. And COVID kind of messes this up, but I was like, okay, when did this EMA ribbon flip bullish, right? And from here to here, am I on the? No, it was the monthly. Damn it, it was the monthly, guys. We'll still be close. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. So 26 bars. Damn, it must have been this one then. Yeah, from bear market bottom when it flips, right? 24 bars. Okay. So to the top, right? And I'm just going to count this as the first top, whatever. If we go 26 bars, that is May of next year. If we go 24 bars, that's obviously March of next year. Now, if you want to take it as we are trending 2 bars lower and you say, okay, we're going to go to 22 bars, that's January 1st. Okay, so just a slight, little, not pushback, but, of when we could top. So basically for me, it's like anywhere in here is like you should be on the lookout, in my opinion. I'm gonna delete the middle one, but between I'm saying Q1 to halfway through Q2, I'm like, if we're at like 100K, something like that, like you need to be looking for the door, in my opinion.
Basically, after the election, I'm just gonna be on guard.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But it also depends like what we look like over the next couple months leading into it.
Max Payne is super cycle.
Higher for longer.
You are here forever as a bull.
I want to be rich in a year.
Everybody, yeah, that's the thing.
That's
It's
the
like
thing. You might be right.
this range is kind of the epitome of that pitfall. Like everybody wants to be rich right now, so they're either getting
Right.
max long or max short, trying to catch the next trending move. And if you've just been sitting in spot since, I mean, I'm not going to say if you've been sitting in spot in altcoin, like in Bitcoin and ETH, you're fine, because I know most of you are not doing that, right? There are a lot of spot bags, though, that over the last 2 or 3 months are basically flat or even in the green. I think from like a patience perspective, building positions in higher conviction will eventually pay. But it's a cycle that's going to have a lot of aggressive pullbacks in between that makes you second guess your bias, and it will probably make you at least once during the cycle feel like you want to sell everything because the cycle's over. And I think that's a feature, not a bug. Study the 2017 to 2018 cycle where you had multiple like 30 to 40% corrections before you even went into parabola. Now think about what that would look like if you stretch that out over like a 3 to 4 year period and on a higher time frame. That's kind of what I'm thinking we're going to do.
But Tommy, first study Todd real quick.
Oh, hell yeah.
I feel great. Where it's programmed.
We love Todd. He's a
Wait, okay. So Tommy, explain this real quick, right? And Mario, real quick. I know Q3, Q4, 25. Like that's the classic 4-year cycle, and that's kind of still my base case, right? It's just like this. What I'm looking at, what's on the screen right now, is somewhat convincing, but it is anecdotal. Anyway, Tommy, explain what that would look like in the form of a squiggle. Okay. help me out here.
I mean,
we're here now.
Shit. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do in the short term, right? Like we could either range for a few more months. We could dip lower, I guess, in theory. Ultimately, I do think that by like 2026, you're going to be at 250K within that vicinity.
Okay.
Like that's kind of what I'm thinking. You get a cyclical pullback.
Okay. Hang on. 2.
I mean, probably like 150 to 200K, maybe lower. I wouldn't count on it. And then you get your last leg up on a higher time frame. Probably above like 500,000 Bitcoin. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But
okay, so this is the Tommy path right here.
Yes, but I do think that in the short term, like I can't rule out that we make another lower low on Bitcoin. I can't. But I do think
oh my God,
I do think the upside trajectory is up there, man. I do. And it's over a 4 or 5 year cycle. Like everybody wants the 2025 cash out. I really don't think global liquidity can top in 2025. The catalysts, in my opinion, like the catalysts are there for liquidity inflows into 2025. I don't think liquidity can top in 2025 unless you think this is a replica of 2008. And I'm not really in that camp. And then I think the second thing, I don't think crypto overcomes its current wall of cringe that it has with normies by 2025, right? For crypto to reach 10 trillion market cap, you need altcoins to go ballistic, not just Bitcoin and ETH. And to a certain extent, you do kind of need to climb that wall of cringe that crypto, it's not just like the perception. Crypto is cringe as hell to like large swaths of normies, and it deserves the label for a lot of it. But I think those are things that the public will digest, not over like a year, but over a 3 or 4 year span. But it will also coincide with numerous fundamental catalysts, as we've already seen. And I think you're going to see additional catalysts as well, such as crypto's ability to kind of counter or really kind of keep in check something like artificial intelligence or obviously inflation over time. So I think the future's never been brighter on like a 3 or 4 year time horizon, but I really think we could get a cycle that looks completely different than anything that we've expected. Probably involves a lot of altcoins doing their usual liquidity cycles, though, where they boom and bust, while Bitcoin and ETH and Sol and probably a handful of others just continue to go up for like 4 or 5 years with sharp pullbacks in between. Like, you're not going to catch this on leverage.
No. So, okay, if this is your base case right here, then why wouldn't you just shove quality beta through here and then just turn off your brain?
Because what if Bitcoin drops like to another lower low, that beta gets shredded another 50 to 75%. So it's like, it's very, very difficult to position for.
I got too much noise.
I can't see that lower wick on the monthly getting like ran.
No. Yeah, I can't. I mean,
Like
if
the
we
last time
are
we got
in
a
a
candle
bull
look like
market,
that was
bro,
COVID, literally.
yeah, like if we're in a bull market, like this,
Actually,
you're here, man.
each
You're
cycle
right
we got it.
here.
Look at the lows of the
I know.
20 before 2017. You got a big wick on the monthly, then you got one in COVID, and then we just got one here.
Yeah. I'd say that one, yeah. What are we talking about?
Like the fake out before the breakout.
What are we talking about?
Even the Bitcoin weekly candle last week was like a nice, outside and up candle from a weekly, doji pin bar type candle. Like, I mean, weekly looks good, monthly looks good. I mean, some hourly chop, going into Nvidia and earnings is like, it's noise. You need to
zoom in.
Zoom in.
Tucker, did you see what happened to Chimp earlier this week or over the weekend?
No, what happened?
He longed ton 8 hours before Pavel got arrested.
Before?
Oh
my god.
Chimp Zoo?
No, Chimp Phone. He was the one
that came on
last week. Yeah.
Yeah, the British guy.
That's funny.
Oh,
he buys, Dev gets arrested.
Dude, that was like me with LDO, bro. I was literally like fully sized LDO. Next morning, SEC lawsuit. Smack.
Ton. What do we think about Ton, man?
I feel like Ton is going to dip into like 4.6, and then it's going to bounce back into that downside gap that it created.
Where's more?
But realistically, like, this is a coin with an astronomical valuation and probably a lot of trap buyers. So if that support breaks, I am not stepping in front of it.
I'll buy 270. 270 Ton. Yeah.
You guys saw the Binance account yesterday posted the fake out.
Yeah.
I'm sure somewhere they're thinking like Head and Shoulders for this chart right here.
Yeah, man, that's an ugly looking chart. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it just doesn't look like it's about to rebound super hard. Like, at minimum, I feel like you gotta like do this. If you're gonna hold that.
Yeah. That kind of looks like the DMT chart a little bit. Obviously a lot more forced, but I was kind of expecting DMT to pit roll out of its current structure.
Like, are we bullish on this chart or no?
Yeah, I'd probably say I'm at least expecting that thing to pop that high. I would not really be wanting to fade that chart.
And then we hit him with.
And I think funding on it is positive too, which is even worse.
There you
so
go.
You had a ton of shorts enter. Okay, funding's negative now on Bybit, so maybe they can squeeze it.
There you go. There it is. There's the ton playbook.
I
Wasn't
think
TR?
this is a Pantera coin.
Is it?
Yeah. I think their fund performance has been awful this year, apparently. They bought a ton of SOL at, I think, higher than here somehow.
Tommy, what do you think about this comment?
The next move is the resolution one. Yeah, I would say so.
Next move, very telling.
You think everybody's just conditioned to the fake outs at this point?
I think, everybody's conditioned
to the range. Like, oh, let's just sell range high. Let's just buy range low. Like,
yeah, I'm kind of in the camp, and I said this on the morning calls on Monday morning that I don't want to fade this week's directionality.
yeah,
I really don't. Because I think, like, realistically, if we're seeing upside, I could see some more grind higher. But resolution from the range, I think if you see range highs again, you're probably going to blast through them, and vice versa for range lows. So range traders, Euro scalpers, I think it's time for a trending environment. But it's hard to say that like a 25 to 30% move isn't exactly a trend on Bitcoin, right? Like that's a very tradable move. But altcoins need higher time frame guidance from majors, obviously, if they're going to begin to trend more substantially again.
Oh, this is that meme coin on ton. They're more no. This is as much data as we get. What does Chimp Phone think about the next move? It's a good question.
There's probably a bunch of people from my Discord commenting about Chimp. I bet they're talking about it right now.
I just took a long. I'll tell you that.
They are.
No, I just took longs. Just punted a Bitcoin long. We'll see.
The only thing that was kind of surprising to me about the move from the low or from the highs was that we have not really shed any open interest. Like, I thought more longs would have puked on a 5 or on like a 3 to 4% move down. I think they're just holding it.
Well, what is that like perp spot premium at? Isn't it deeply negative?
What, you mean funding?
No, the spot to perps premium
funding.
Mm.
It's been
not funding.
Talk about it. I've seen people talk like they're probably just referencing a specific exchange, right? Like Binance futures.
Yeah, probably Binance. Yeah.
Well, Binance and Bybit are pretty close to like regular funding or normalized funding on Bitcoin. Bybit's a little bit higher, but
yeah, Louis just read the chat and punted along.
Yeah.
He saw the sentiment in the chat and punted along.
I mean, ETH has to bounce here, or it's FUBAR.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's got to bounce here, or like in this area, so it's worth a shot. You know, it's a small size, but it was just sitting there. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean this is the level for higher low structure for V recovery.
Yeah. And then just take it to range highs.
I wish I had $1 on a perps account, man. Jesus Christ.
I think I have like $10 from Louis.
Let's push it, boys. Everyone just flip bullish. Take longs here.
Louis, I would be punting along if I had $1 on Hyperliquid. My investments are with good memes.
Options are so nice for this environment, man. I just can't even like.
Can I trade options on Bybit?
Actually, yes.
But are they liquid?
No.
No. That's hilarious. But are they liquid? No.
No, you remember my first crypto options experience was during SVB. I bought Bitcoin calls because somebody who I felt like was very smart said, okay, volatility is underpriced for next week. So it's like, okay, I'll punt some calls. I buy them. They go down 95% because obviously Bitcoin dropped 15% from SVB, maybe more than 95%. I mean, they're basically zero. And all of a sudden we rip. Less than a week later, the options ended up being like a 20x from where I bought them. Of course, I sold them. I sold them on the bounce because I was like, well, I'm wrong. And then they 20x. That's the volatility of crypto options. But they're nice, guys, because they're cheap and you can't get liquidated. They can go to zero, but they can still appreciate if they hit your hypothetical liquidation price that they would have on a futures trade.
Yeah, they won't take you out.
In conditions this illiquid, options are nice.
I mean, where can you even do it though besides Deribit?
It's Deribit and Bybit.
So, but isn't Bybit not liquid?
They're supposed to have them for the ETF soon, so probably your nearest equity brokerage fairly soon. But
wait, are you serious?
They're supposed to.
They're gonna have iBid option. That's gonna
cook.
That's gonna cook.
That
dude.
is cook.
That is gonna cause some real convexity, man.
Need some like, coin margin options on equity brokerage.
I need 0-day calls on iBid, dude. What?
I zero day full Bitcoin. I can't even imagine how much slip that would get, but like, geez, one day.
Mario said 80K by October. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think that's entirely possible. Jack has said 80K in the month. All right, so that could still happen, guys. We got
Nvidia 4 days tomorrow.
We got Nvidia earnings tomorrow. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, we've been trading sideways for so long. Like, people forget what like crypto can do when it gets going. Like, once Bitcoin gets going, like, it's gonna go. Like, it's just a matter of time. Just you got to wait it out. But a lot of people are conditioned to watch every pump get retraced. A lot of people are going to take profits too early, and a lot of people are going to try to continue to short strength until they finally give up, and they're going to fuel, that Bitcoin move higher.
Yeah, I agree. Also, to this comment, no, we're talking about 0-day options on Bitcoin ETFs, which is going to be insane.
This is how it works, though, Louis, isn't it? It's like everybody, and this is something I've noticed over the last 6 to 7 months, especially, we're in a range. And I mean, how often on a day-to-day basis are we literally correlated with equities and liquidity, like to an exact T? It's one of those things where they take time. The correlation to equities and the liquidity, they are going to take time. Equities pump over time, liquidity rises over time, and then crypto, being the super inefficient market that it still is, will catch up or down in one candle, because that's what we do.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. We have a serious problem. Tommy, go ahead.
We are having a serious problem. Have you seen that? The dude with the German accent?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Giving you guys live
accent. Sorry, I'm sorry, Valentin, if you heard that, but
Valentin for sure heard that, bro. Oh, let him know, Tommy. Let him know.
With what?
Why we're looking at the soybean chart.
Oh no! I'm guessing you guys haven't really hit the like button since I said something about it. 240. Okay, if we can get to 250. If we can get to 250, we'll keep cooking. Otherwise, we're probably going to wrap the show up here, guys. I'm asking you for like 8 likes, so it's really not that much. We actually cooked for you a great meal today. on this lovely Louis Tuesday.
3 long signals. We're trading live.
Max long soybeans, maybe. What does the soybean high time frame chart even look like? I feel like
it's bad. Oh, 256. Let's ride.
Let's go. All right, let's do some soybean analysis, some actual soybean analysis. Since we make them look at the chart enough.
There is the soybean chart, guys.
RIP soy boys.
It appears to be over for the soy boys. It does appear to be over. Oh man,
Klaus Schwab in the mud.
They hit the like button though. We got to go back. What about like total 3? Louis, what do you think about total 3?
I got an altcoin market cap. Let's see here, which I don't know if this was on Market Check. I called this, or maybe on one of our calls. But basically, we've had our now 4th tap at this, descending trend line in this like consolidation, like falling wedge type channel we have here. And it's normal we're getting a small rejection here. But I don't expect this to come much lower. And I think we continue out from here, hit this resistance, maybe, pull back a little bit, slight pullback. And then, we finally get this breakout, and on a zoomed out view of this chart, just of altcoin market cap. My log, that's why everything looks weird. This looks ready to go. This looks like we want $1.1 trillion. Altcoin market cap is programmed here, in my opinion. Obviously we have to break this. We have to, continue out of this continuation pattern. We got to break this resistance here. This downward sloping resistance. But this, we already have our bear trap to the lows. We ran all the lows. We're taking our 4th tap, and I think this breaks out here sooner rather than later. I think people think we have a lot more time here for alts and Bitcoin than we do. Like, I think this move happens soon, within the next couple of weeks. Everyone got excited on Friday. The pumps we were seeing on alts, and like we literally just stayed in this like consolidation pattern. Like, imagine what it's going to look like, once we're breaking out of this pattern. Like, it's going to be fun. And it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. So, business as usual. Just gotta wait it out. Gotta have patience.
Fourth tap, baby. What happens on that fourth tap, Tommy? Mm-hmm.
Cheeto.
Does that work for a diagonal though?
I have no idea.
let's just say it does.
Needs to push a little higher first before that 4th tap.
Yeah, and this is total. Yeah, we kind of got a hold here for total. But same thing. This is a, consolidation under a massive, resistance. That's bullish. Cup and handle, whatever you want to call it, bull flag. These break to the upside. And before they do that, they usually hit you with a bear trap like they did. Come out, roll over, bang. So, just from chart time, staring at, the charts and price action over a long enough period of time, you get a feel for how these things play out and the emotions, you feel in them. I mean, this is a continuation pattern. It's a high time frame continuation pattern. Like, there's no other way to put it. So, let's see what it looks like on the daily here, zoomed in.
Do you see this about Aave?
I saw something about BlackRock.
Pump and dump Aave.
I don't doubt it. I
saw something about a BlackRock partnership or something through Aave, but it was like a third-party service or something. I don't know. I saw that this morning. But
that was Ondo's whole thing. They were like, "Yeah, we're partnered with BlackRock," except they were just like trying to tokenize one of BlackRock's product. It was a joke, but
what does the maker chart look like, Louis?
What
does the maker chart look like? They're getting a new token with much lower unit cost. It's called Sky. If I had to guess, this is a token that's probably like, it'll probably dump half pipe style, and then you bid it.
Wait, so you want to look at the maker chart?
Yeah.
Okay. So are they pulling like a polygon?
Damn.
Or they're
Yeah,
launching
I
a
think
whole new thing?
Polygon's going to do another Polygon, but
It went to
Really?
4,000.
do
Tommy,
you remember
we
when we were
fumbled
playing
this,
It's like
bro.
800?
Yes. We were buying this at like 900,000 last summer.
Correct.
It was
But
last summer, yeah.
we would have had, it's another one of those things we would have had to hold it for like a year.
For like a 4x. Yeah, not worth
Well, I
it.
was charting it here. I didn't buy it though. It came right into my zones. It looks like that would have been a nice nice 3x.
Yeah.
I mean, if just off the naked view here, this, got to pull back, obviously. Got some falling wedgie type look to it. And you got this demand here.
Yeah,
Looks
minimum
like
go
look where
test
we're
that
getting
upper.
announced. Yeah, I mean, minimum here. And then, if a breakout, honestly, like next level is your old all-time high, 6,000. That's pretty clean. You got your breakout, you got your pullback to demand, consolidate, break the falling wedge, clear this, and yeah, there's like nothing here. Not
That
much
first maker
structure.
chart, that first maker cycle, I should say, back in 2021 is like the textbook definition of a euthanasia roller coaster.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, people think bear markets are tough. Wait till you get to the bull market. It's like then you just don't know what to do. like you sell and then the thing keeps ripping, or like you hold and then you didn't sell it quick enough. Like it's not easy.
But everything's going up, so you're making money anyway.
Exactly. So it's fun. But yeah, now a lot more decisions to be made, I feel like, in the bull run.
The key on a day like today, guys, is to just not look at your altcoin portfolio.
Yeah.
Right. Just don't even open it. That's the key. I actually don't think Pepe looks bad here, but
I hope Smog isn't leading it.
what's Mog doing?
Looking
I was
like
surprised we pushed as far as we did over the weekend, to be honest. But
I mean, it's in it's in the same camp as Bitcoin and ETH, that like it retraced the impulse, it needs to bounce.
yeah,
Or your pit rolling.
like, exactly. You can't lose these lows. Like we had a local double bottom here. You start to lose these lows, it's probably game over. So, but I can see this. We're coming down. We're starting to catch a bid. Bang. You know what I mean? Like it's not always clean. Like that's a thing. I feel like I see a lot of charters do this as well. It's like you have this super obvious like trend line here. Like this horizontal level. You got all these levels ticked here. So like people have this line. And then like they'll see like, oh, we're back below. It's over. Like, I mean, this is an area. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like it's an area of buying and selling. So like just because we're slightly below this line again doesn't mean like we can't just reclaim it. I feel like people like they take the lines as absolutes when realistically it's just an area of price where people do business of buying and selling. I could definitely see us. This is like we got our impulse up Friday going into the weekend. Weekend pump obviously already retraced, but we got to form a higher low, and then continue working on this level. But back above this level, I think we're good to go here on Pepe. So it did what it needed to do on Friday, which is good. Yeah, I mean this still looks bullish to me. And then with the clear invalidation, like honestly, if we start losing these lows here, I'll probably cheat some Pepe. Not gonna lie.
That'd be a tough
Wait,
look.
do you guys remember this? Because I do, and it was insanity.
That was right when I was starting to get into crypto.
It was insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I specifically remember I had COVID 2020, like December, like around New Year's time. And I remember like I was in my stuck in my room for like a week. And like, I literally, all I did was watch Bitcoin and crypto just pump for like a week straight. And it was like literally 2020 going into 2021. And like, that's what triggered it. So like, maybe we got to wait till the end of the year. Maybe like we don't see super bullish price action until maybe, you know, like December, you know, November, December. But I mean, just from what we've been seeing so far, I feel like we pump into that with the election and everything else been going on. And for the amount of time we've been consolidating, I think we pump into that rather than waiting for all that time. But at this point, who knows? Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this, guys, before we wrap up?
I was about to say, let me check the like button before we pull the plug. Wait, what? Is there a comment? I don't know anything about that.
It makes me a little bearish on Mog, I will say.
You think they're actually gonna like yeet Mog for that?
They're mercenaries, dude. They
I
don't care
know.
what. They don't care what's left in their wake. It's just the next value extractive method, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Study the only green coin today. Bend the knee.
That is pure garbage, bro. Garbage.
I mean, let's take a look. Hold on.
Oh man.
All right, let's look at XRP BTC for a second. All right.
Damn, that does look
What
good.
what do you make of this? What do you think? Is this like a bottom to you or what?
Yeah.
Looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
And I think XRP USD is probably beginning to enter an uptrend fairly soon.
This is the most interesting one. This is the most interesting one.
To push back, everything looks good against. I bet soybeans look good against ETH, bro.
I guess. I know, but just like the macro, but just the macro PO3 setup on it, it's pretty unreal. It's pretty unreal.
I like that. Yeah.
Like this looks like the setup for XRP to kind of like lead until ETH kind of catches up, you know. But you know, we'll see. I mean, we've been kind of seeing that since literally like a month or two ago. Basically since the ETF launch. So XRP has been performing quite well. I mean, it hasn't done great. Don't get me wrong. It's still, but you know, it's not bad. But I'm watching it. I mean, I got my ETH betas, obviously. But I'm not holding any ETH. I'm holding XRP. That's my blue chip.
I've still got the extra secret XRP alpha that Jackus talked about. Well, Jackus didn't even mean to talk about it back in like 2023. It's a Bitcoin pair. If he's watching, he knows exactly which Bitcoin pair I'm talking about. It's an alt Bitcoin pair that looks exactly like the high time frame XRP USD chart. I'm not going to give it away though. I'll probably give that to Giga Chads, or if you guys were to hit the like button more later this week, I can reveal it. But there's probably not enough time in today's show, so I'm just going to tell Tucker and Louie after we go off air.
Sorry, guys.
I'll let you guys take me at the end of the show, but we cooked for about an hour and a half today. I think this is a good spot to be wrapping it up. Thank you guys, as always, for hitting the like button, showing your continued support. A few things before we officially wrap up the stream, though. BB Wealth Management, our SEC-registered digital asset focused fund run by the BB team, is now live, guys. So if becoming an LP or an accredited investor is something that interests you, we do have more information linked in the description below. Just a reminder, we are like I said, a digital asset focused fund that looks to specialize in capturing the asymmetric history for upside returns that many of these assets have, while also managing the downside risk posed in any financial market, especially crypto. So, like I said, if becoming an LP or accredited investor is something that interests you, we do have more information linked in the description of this YouTube video. We also have the BB Academy, guys, which has been around for about 3 or 4 months now. But as I will say, every show, we've gotten some amazing feedback from you guys already. It is invaluable to be able to learn from so many different traders and how they approach markets, how they analyze, and ultimately how they trade. So if you're trying to take your trading maybe to the next level, maybe you're trying to build that educational base, as a beginner. Maybe you're somebody who is looking to reach mastery level, especially in specific topics. The BB Academy is the course for you. For my money, it is the best that you will find in all of CT and all of, kind of our neck of the woods. Like I said, I mean, I really do think that it is like the best part of the BB Academy is that you can learn from so many different trading styles, right? Because there is not always one size that fits all with trading. Anybody that tells you that is kind of LARPing. And if you are making money in markets, you know that. But we also have the BB terminal launching this week, guys, and we are beyond excited that we can bring this to you. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Even more blood, sweat, and tears went into this than the BB Academy. And as you all know, it took us about 9 to 10 months to complete the BB Academy in its entirety. So the BB terminal is going to be awesome. I am so excited. And, I was playing around with it on even on this stream. I know some of you are asking me to go over derivatives data. Maybe that's something I do later in the week. I did think about it. I was debating doing it with the BB terminal, but we did not have time today. But I will be using the BB terminal going forward for all of my derivatives data analysis going forward. And I hope that you will as well. I mean, it has everything that I need and even more, honestly, and does it in a much more visually appealing way than the sites that I was using previously. So make sure to check out the BB terminal when it goes live later this week. We're all excited for it for very different reasons and very different features, because there is going to be a lot of different utility that you can use when you access it. Of course, to touch on our programming, guys, Market Check will be back for another episode tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are live Monday through Friday whenever the New York Stock Exchange is open. So if you enjoyed the show today, we will see you tomorrow at the same time. Of course, we also have Market Talk hosted by the legendary King Wabi. And King Wabi does a great job on those shows, guys. The flavor of the conversation always takes on very much of who the panel is. So if you're looking for maybe a bit more of a fix in the afternoon, you enjoyed Market Check, Market Talk is the perfect place to go. So head over to the Because Bitcoin Twitter, stay following and subscribed so you can be notified, not just when we go live, but also when we schedule those spaces. That's it from me, guys.
Tommy, study this background real quick. Look. Oh, look at that.
Hey,
BB off. Look at that. New office.
Wait, study this background.
Look, that's us. Wait.
Study this background.
Right there.
Wait, that's us. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's
Isn't
that's like Streamception.
Yeah.
The real office. That's BB headquarters, Tucker.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
If only they knew the real location of the BB headquarters, but it's fun that the outro is becoming such a mouthful, because I remember when I could get it done in like 20 seconds, but that was also before we had all of these exciting things to be able to offer you guys. So BB has been killing it. We have been here through the chop. We appreciate your support through the chop. And as always, guys, thanks again and stay safe. We hope that you enjoyed Market Check today. We'll be back tomorrow.